What is up, my people? Welcome back to the channel for another album review. I'm your boy Nassim the Dream. If you're new to the channel, go right on ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell as well to always keep notified of my newest content. And today I will be reviewing the new Mitski record, Laurel Hell. This is Mitski's 4th studio LP, 6 overall, marking 4 years since her last release, Be the Cowboy. Being one of the most critically acclaimed releases in 2018, marking the cut for the album of the year for articles such as New York Magazine and Pitchfork. From this record on comes a tour with Mitski shockingly announcing her indefinite decision on performing her last show, thus being the reason why we haven't heard from her for so long. Over the pandemic, in comes the making of this newest record with longtime producer Patrick Hyland, transforming all this time, going into the record to represent resilience, vulnerability, sorrow, delight, mistakes made, and ultimately, love. For the new singles being teased from this record, I wasn't really so enticed and really was induced to really be so excited for this newest record. But of course, really dissecting it, really feeling the potential of this really impacting me during the record listen, I was really sure to keep an open mind with this. Valentine, Texas is the opener for this new LP, giving a soft tone melody from Mitski with a kiss of symphony, while opening up with the notion of her re-entering this dark place where she doesn't really know how she'll end up when she goes back into this dark place, not really knowing how it will change her, while admitting to her lover that when she goes into this dark place, the true self of her, the real identity, will be exposed. She mentions in this stanza with the carried weight on her shoulders as mountains, hoping they will float off of her, meaning that she would hope in the future that all this weight, this pressure that's really on to her will soon vanish. Then we glide on into the next track, which is an indie soft rocker, Working for the Knife. That entails this very dark truth from Mitski about her wishing that she could move towards her passions and desires, but constantly works for the knife. This analogy meaning that she continuously cuts herself down by constantly thinking about dying, instrumentally really pushes out this passion of emotion with a lovely horn exit as well. Stay Soft desires some catchy guitar rhythms and drum sections with more presence onto the mix. It continues on the narrative when using sex as a coping mechanism to really block out all the bad things when it comes to negativity when you feel physically and emotionally. Now, I do think the moments on here really hit formally with the story being shared about Mitski, but I'm not always loving the song approach with a few of the cuts on here. The song Everyone feels more of a poem than a song. It's not a track I can personally see me enjoying without the flow of this record, but however, I do really think the narrative continues to be more impactful when it comes to Mitski speaking about her rise in fame onto this particular track and how much metaphorically it's taken from her and left her vulnerable to the darkness. Heat Lightning can be a little bit tedious with some of the synth stabs onto the playlist, while the rest of the instrumental just also can feel like it's a bit underwhelming. But the stanzas in this track still hit with significant themes to the record. While Mitski describes her racing overthinking habits as things dancing onto the ceiling, keeping her from sleeping, and how it's practically inevitable for her to really dodge these moments in her life and how she's just really giving up on helping it. Now, as I said, I wasn't really too much of a fan of some of the singles released before this record. However, I did change my mind a lot on the track The Only Heartbreaker, from not really minding it to really enjoying it. The influences of 80s pop just suits Mitski's vocal styles fairly well onto the song, with the heart-wrenching confession of willingly fine with taking all the fault and mistakes in a toxic relationship. When we see her on the last stanzas of the back end of this track of her continuously apologizing, being the one who's always apologizing in this relationship. This sign of defeat just shows how much that she just really wants this relationship to continue on, no matter where she's at fault or if she's even not at fault. She will always be the one to apologize, and that of course being very, very harmful to Mitski's mental health. Towards the end of the LP, we then see more melancholy affection filling in the room, starting with the song I Guess. Mitski's just soaking into the sadness of a relationship coming to an end while being thankful for the aftermath and what she grew from so. The twinkling piano keys on the track harmonize very lovely and beautifully along with Mitski singing on these stanzas, while she uses the track That's Our Lamp as a metaphor to her love with her ex-partner that kept that light in the room, but now that it's over, she's left in a dark room. This song kicks up to be one of the most upbeat songs in the whole record, which I'm not sure is supposed to be a polar opposite to the happy ending where there really isn't one. I think it could also be interpreted as another analogy to her memories of the times where her lover actually loving her. So I must say, there is definitely some conflict in me with the total investment of my self-interest to this full-length record. However, all of the devastating thoughts of Mitski's self-views on things like her severe mental health problems, her fear, having nothing left to give in life, truly impact this record with a very compassionate impression from me personally. But musically and song technicality can range from being spot on to just alright. But even with these stats, I do think that Mitski's singing and songwriting ability were really met with the high quality and high expectations all around the record on here. I'm not necessarily opposed to the approach of making things more metaphorical with poetic tale to musicality, but would I'd rather heard more chamber influences to really strike that emotion when it comes to this melancholy and devastating tragedy that Mitski is sharing. As a whole, really considering all the great things and not so great things onto this record, it's left me with a great impression worth sharing. I'm gonna give Mitski's Laurel Hell a 70%. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, go ahead and like, share, and comment down below. And if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Down in the description, you'll see my separate tracklist ratings for the album, more videos, and also the links to my social media accounts so you can keep up with me on the daily. And I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Doses.